Bonjour everyone. Wow, I feel like it's been a long time since I took this camera and filmed anything for my YouTube channel, so I feel pretty excited to be able to do that today, and I feel grateful that you guys are part of this new adventure and that you are watching this video today. So thank you very much, first of all, for being here. I wanted to check with you also if everything was going well in your life. I hope your life is as smooth as it can be, and I hope spring is treating you well, if spring is the season that you are in right now. As you can tell, we are in my car going from Orange County, from Laguna Beach to Los Angeles. As much as I love my life in Orange County and especially in Laguna Beach, I feel very, very grateful to be living there. I think it's such a dream. But as much as I love Orange County, sometimes it's a bit too slow for me and I need to escape to something a bit more vibrant where there is a bit more action. And so LA is definitely a place where I can feel this need, and that's why I like to go there once in a while. I love to see my friends there. I love to experiment new restaurants. I love to go out there. I love to shop there. I love to go to some museum there. So there's plenty of things that I like to do in Los Angeles. And it's also not a secret that, and I think I mentioned that in my YouTube channel a few times, but I think I'm ready to invest in my new place, and I'm entertaining the idea of this new place being in Los Angeles. And that's why today we are going to visit some houses, some apartments, some properties, and we are going to do some open houses then. But today we are going to see two if we are lucky. It's already 12:45 and I think the open house of the first one is until 2, so it's going to be a short one, but I think we're going to make it. The two first ones are in Silver Lake, and I think Silver Lake or Echo Park is definitely the neighborhoods in LA that I like the most if I project myself about owning a place there, really. So that's why I really want to dig a bit more in those neighborhoods and really see if that could be a good match for me. We always say it's not the destination that is important, that's the journey, and that's really how I feel with this next property project thing. I really love the journey that I'm in. I love to discover new places. I love to learn a bit more about what I like, what I don't like. I love to discover LA, a bit more also. And so yeah, the journey is definitely exciting, and who knows, maybe I'm gonna be one day able to find the treasure that I'm looking for. So I'm excited that you are, with me in this journey, because once I'm gonna find my next place, or my first place in the US actually, I don't know, that's gonna be an exciting threshold for me. So thank you for being part of that once again. So anyway, 2 open houses today, and I'm lucky because my 2 friends, Ben and Clem, they are living in LA as well, and they are not here this weekend, and they very kindly offer me to stay at their place while they are away. And so I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna stay in their house tonight. We are Saturday, I'm not sure if I mentioned that, and that way I can have a full weekend in Los Angeles and do more open houses tomorrow as well as going to the LACMA, because it just opened their new building and I'm very curious to see how it looks like in real. So that's what we are going to do this weekend. I'm excited again that you are part of this adventure. And that the next time I'm gonna see you is at the first open house in Silver Lake. Oh, and something else I wanted to mention to you, I'm not sure if you are following me on Instagram, but if you do, you probably have seen that recently I was part of a French documentary that was about the Frenchies and their career in Orange County. And I was brought on it because my friend Laetitia, she recently became a real estate agent in Orange County, and for one of her segments she needed one of her friends to play like a potential client, and so I was the client, and it was just so fun to share this experience with her and to film for this French channel, and also to watch the documentary once it was released last week. So anyway, I'm just mentioning that because you probably have, if you are following me, wonder what is this. So that's an explanation of that. And if you are interested about watching the full documentary, it's available in this French channel on internet called M6, and on the replay part of it you might be able to find it. And it was quite interesting because in this documentary they are also highlighting Moulin, which you might know if you live in California. Moulin it's a French cafe and brasserie as well in some location. I think the owner, Laurent, has been in the business 10 or 12 years ago at this point and is very, very successful. He now has 6 or 7 locations in Orange County. So if you live in Orange County, you might know it already. So anyway, it was just fun to also see him part of this documentary. Anyway, just wanted to mention that. So I just wanted to show you what I'm wearing today. It's a beautiful spring day here in Los Angeles. It's not the warmest one, so I felt like another shirt was in order, really. And this one is coming from APC. I bought it a couple of years back, and it's been a long time I haven't used it, so I'm pretty happy to be able to use it today. And I teamed it up with my jeans from COS, which I love because it's not too baggy and not too slim. So it's kind of like this perfect in-between that looks very cool in my opinion. And the shirt is from this band called Very Gently that I saw in concert a couple of months back. And then as far as accessories go, I have my large hop from Bottega Veneta in fondant that I love because I can fit everything in it, including the camera. And then I always pair it with my loafers from The Row that I absolutely love because I wear them actually every day, so I probably need to find a replacement for those because I'm gonna really kill them, but I honestly really love them. So that's the outfit of the day. The belt is from Hermes, and I'm also using this belt way too much in my opinion, but what can I say? I love what I love. Okay, so I'm at my friend's place now in Highland Park, and I just wanted to give you a little bit of feedbacks from the two properties I have seen today. Both of them were in Silver Lake, and both of them were 5 minutes away from each other, which was pretty convenient. And both of them were actually 5 minutes away also from the Sunset Junction, which is this very popular crossroads in between Sunset Boulevard and Santa Monica Boulevard in Silver Lake or in LA. So pretty killer location, to be honest. The first place I've seen was this lower unit apartment. It was part of a 4 condos building. I honestly really liked it because even if it was a lower unit apartment, it was still kind of above the main road. So you are not feeling you are like right at the road level, which I kind of like. I like to be a bit elevated, you know. That was a plus for sure. I liked the floor plan. I think the apartment was around 1,000 square feet, so pretty big. It was a 2-bed, 1-bath, and it was also listed for a bit below 800k, I think 795, which I don't think was a bad price, especially for this location. I love the feature of this place. I love the fact that it was mixing old and new. Also came with an outdoor situation. The only problem with this place is the fact, and I was not familiar with that, so bear with me here, but it was a TIC situation, which stands for tenants in common, which I was again not really familiar with this situation, so I'm not exactly quite sure how to explain it to you. I'm really not a real estate agent here, but basically it's a different situation than a typical condo or apartment. I think basically because there is 4 apartments in this old building, each tenant owns 25% of the building instead of owning just your condo. I need to do a bit more research to see if that's I guess a condition that would be acceptable to me. There is some common part, some outside common part as well. This I think can be okay, depending obviously of the other tenants or the other owners, but that you don't really know until you move in, right? The HOA were pretty low. I think they were around $230, so pretty low, especially for LA. I love the fact also that I think the main bedrooms was on the back of the property, so pretty quiet if I have to guess, which is also important to me. That's basically my summary for this first place. And the second one was, I think, even better, more expensive for sure, because it was around 1 million. It was initially, I think, listed at 1.1 and they decreased it to 1 million. So that was a pretty strong decrease. When I was talking with the agent that was in the house, because it was a house, he was actually telling me that because they are that desperate to sell, some negotiations were possible. It was still, for me, kind of above budget, even with some negotiations. So I'm not quite sure if I'm gonna, move forward there. But this property, and you might have seen it, I think had a lot of charm. I love the fact that it was a house. It was not a condo. It was definitely a house. I love the charm of this type of 1920s house. Both of the places I saw were actually from the 1920s. I think this was 1931 actually, sorry. 1931, but kind of same era. I think this place had a lot of great feature. I love again the floor plan. It was a 2-bed, 1-bath. It was definitely bigger than the first one. This one was a bit more than 1,000 square feet, but it was also on a 3,500 square feet. So bigger than what I was expecting I could get, really. Again, it was kind of out of the budget, so I'm not really comparing apple to apple here, but still it was pretty interesting to see. I love this main window in the living room. I think it was just charming. One of the specificity of this property was definitely the detached garage that they have currently made into kind of a living room situation. I was thinking that I could maybe do an office there or something more for work, I guess. So bottom line, it was very interesting to see both of those places, and I love to do that just to be able to better understand my criteria as well. I think it's hard to know exactly what you want and what you absolutely don't want in a place when you haven't visited quite a bit of them. I think what I'm saying is the more you see some places, you more understand what you like and what you don't like. And so I'm definitely building those criteria, and I'm very excited about visiting more places tomorrow. But I'm interested at this point, which of those places do you like? Do you see any red flags or anything like that in those places? Let me know in the comment section down below. I love to chat with you about that, because again, I'm not the most educated about what you are supposed to absolutely look like in a property or not. I mean, I'm having my fair share of experience, but I'm not the most experienced person out there, so having external opinion is definitely helpful, so don't hesitate to let me know what you think. I think this evening is gonna be low-key. I'm gonna Google a place to have dinner. I think I'm gonna stay around Highland Park. I'm sure there is plenty of good restaurant and good food around here, so that's what I'm gonna do. I was debating about texting some friends to have dinner and to maybe have a drink after, but I feel like I've done that quite a bit this week. So the more reasonable thing to do tonight, I believe, is to stay in and have a low-key evening, which I'm very happy about, to be completely honest with you. But tomorrow morning we're gonna drive to the west side because I'm going to the LACMA, as I was mentioning I think earlier in this video. And also I need to stop by Chiconi's because on Thursday night we went there with my friends and I left my American Express at the bar. So that's what I need to do. Then obviously we're gonna do some visits and I'm gonna go back to Orange County right after. So again, I hope you are doing well. I hope this is entertaining for you. I hope this is giving you more of an idea of what you can get in the Silver Lake area in terms of property. And I will talk to you tomorrow then. Guys, I hope you are doing well. I'm about to leave my friend's place here in Highland Park. I had a very relaxing morning here, I have to say. And now I'm about to drive to the west side of Los Angeles to go to the LACMA to tour the new David Geffen galleries, which is, you know, the new building part of the LACMA. And this is actually where the latest Dore cruise show by Jonathan Anderson happened. So I'm pretty excited to discover the building, the art, and, you know, everything around it. That's gonna be my first stop, and then I'm gonna find a place to have lunch. I still have to stop by Chiconi's to get my American Express, so I might have lunch there to make it simple. And then I will drive back to the east side to do a couple of open houses. So busy day. But before hitting the road, I just wanted to talk to you about my new favorite fragrance, which is Ganymede by Marc-Antoine Barrois. I'm not quite sure if you are familiar with Marc-Antoine Barrois. He is a French designer that recently opened a first store actually in the US, so that's their flagship store. And it is in New York City in Soho. And I just happened to be there a few weeks ago, right after their big opening. So I was able to tour their new facilities, to meet him, and it was very, very lovely. And to talk to their team, to understand their universe and what they are about. And I was very impressed about this brand. And fragrances is definitely a passion of his, but he's also a French designer, as I was mentioning. I think he trained under Jean-Paul Gaultier when he was at Hermès. So there is that. And out of their 5 fragrances, I definitely enjoy Ganymede the most because it has this very interesting mandarin and saffron notes at first. I love the blend of these citrusy and spicy notes. And then once the citrusy notes are disappearing little by little, you are left with these very interesting woody / minerally notes, which are really speaking to me, and I love to smell them on me. So Ganymede was definitely my favorite fragrance that he is offering. He has created those fragrances in partnership with Quentin Biche, which is a very famous French perfumer, part of the Givaudan group. So I'm very excited to see what they're gonna create next. And I'm also very excited to visit their stores in Paris when I'm going to be there in a few weeks. So stay tuned for that. Hey guys, I just left the David Geffen galleries at the LACMA, and let me tell you that I was not disappointed. I mean, you have seen in the previous clips that the building by itself is so spectacular. I mean, kudos to the architect, because it's really like a very impressive monument, and the art inside, it's so diverse. I'm always a sucker for a good Henri Matisse or Claude Monet, and let me tell you that I was not disappointed this time too. So I am now very close to Cicconi's, and I think I'm gonna have lunch there, so let's go. Hey guys, I'm currently charging my car to have enough electricity to go back to the east side of LA and then to drive back to Orange County. After my lunch at Cicconi's, which was kind of overpriced, but we know it. I think I paid like around $35 for a salad, so you know what I mean. I wanted to check this new cafe called the MA Dore cafe, which was a few meters away from Cicconi's. There was such a huge hype about this place, so I just wanted to check it for myself. And honestly, it was nice. I'm not sure if it was worth the 20 minutes wait, to be honest, but I'm definitely not, the target audience for this brand, although I will admit that some pieces were pretty nice. The coffee part of the place is cute as well, rather small but pretty cute, and their cappuccino was really decent. So I mean, if you are in the neighborhood and you have some time to spare, I would recommend you to go, but I'm not sure if I would advise you to drive quite a long time to check this place, honestly. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share here. I'm gonna wait a few more minutes and then I'm gonna drive back to the east side of LA, so I'll check with you in a bit. Hey guys, so I just left my last visit of the weekend. As you have seen, it was also an apartment in Silver Lake, 2-bed, 2-bath, actually located in the border of Silver Lake and Los Feliz, which apparently is a killer location. The building was from the 80s. At first, I didn't think that the building was very nice, to be completely honest with you, compared to what I've seen before. But then I learned that it was a very high demand building because of the location and how, I guess, well maintained it is. They have a pool as well in the building. The apartment by itself was a 2-bed, 2-bath, which was great. I think the floor plan was actually pretty amazing. I think it was around 1,200 square feet, a bit below than that. I think 1,170 square feet, something like that. Great master bedroom, amazing storage, dryer and washing machine in the apartment, 2 parking spots. So honestly, a lot of advantage. I love the fact that this apartment was on the top floor as well. I think that's always a plus. You don't have any neighbors, you don't hear any neighbors on top of you, so that's pretty nice. I love the high ceiling. I loved how bright the apartment was, and I also love the wood floor. So a lot of plus, I have to say, for this apartment. On the negative, I would say, so it was around 900,000 for this apartment, which is not cheap, obviously. What's not cheap either is the HOAs, which were $765. It does include the Wi-Fi and the electricity if you have to charge your car and all of this kind of thing, but still I thought the HOAs were pretty high. And one of the big negative is I will not be able to rent this place that's not the plan, but if I need to, because the building has a rule, has a policy where max, I think, in between 20 to 40% of the apartments can be rented and not owner occupied. So I mean, that's not the end of the world because that's not the plan to rent it, but in case you have to do it, that's a bit stressful, I think. So that was a negative to me. That was still very interesting to see it because, again, like I mentioned at the beginning, I'm discovering more and more neighborhoods in LA. I think this weekend is really comforting me in the fact that I really enjoy the east side of Los Angeles. The Silver Lake / Echo Park area is definitely one of the neighborhoods that I like the most. So I think I'm going to continue looking at some places and learning a bit more about what's out there and the market, and also what I like and what I don't like. Hopefully that has been entertaining and interesting for you. Don't hesitate to let me know in the comment section down below. I always love to read what you have to say about my videos, really. So yeah, I hope it was enjoyable for you guys. I hope you are doing well once again. I'm currently on my way back to Orange County, and I look forward to catching up with you in my next video. So thank you again for watching this one, and take care, and I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.